Hi YouTube! Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be going over and actually starting my blue-eyed leucistic morphs of the reptiles that we already have up on the shop. Of course, there's a car that's very loud going past right now. Hopefully you guys couldn't hear that, but you probably could. That was a very loud car. Of course, right when I decide to record. But anyway, yes, going over to the office and gonna be printing out some blue-eyed leucistic morphs of things that we already have up on the shop. And I guess I'll also be discussing some other stuff with you guys, but let's just go ahead and get over to the office and start working on everything, and then I'll jump into some of my thoughts and what I realized when I decided I was going to be doing the blue-eyed leucistics next. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head on over to the office and start on all that. Alright, made it over to the office, and I put on my glasses just because I feel like my eyes are a little bit tired today, so I'm gonna use those while doing stuff today. But what I was going to tell you guys that I found out was when I was getting everything all set up and ready for doing my blue-eyed leucistic morphs, I realized that I had not done my second half of my hypomorphs. I know that's backwards for you guys to see, but I had started my hypomorphs, as you all might recall, and I have some up on the shop already, but I didn't finish making those, so then I was like, oh no, I didn't finish my hypomorphs. I wonder if I should just do that and push the blue-eyed leucistics off, or if I should just go ahead and start the blue-eyed leucistics and then finish the hypos, and then finish the blue eyes after finishing the hypos. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I already had it posted on my Etsy shop that the blue eyes were going to be coming soon. So I'll go ahead and I'll start those ones today, as I've already told you guys that I'm doing. And then I'll actually go back and finish the hypomorphs, because I have a lot of morphs already done and selected and ready to be made into stickers for the snakes and lizards and frogs that we already have up on the shop. And I'm going to be making some new reptiles at some point. I already have all the folders ready for them as well, but I already have these actually done and ready and formatted for sticker making, all the morphs. So I have them all on my computer, but I was like, I need a list just so I can see, because I realized that I had not, somehow I was missing some hypo stickers, and I was like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure I have hypos of those reptiles. And so I actually made a little cheat sheet, a paper cheat sheet for myself to look at, where I could cross things off. And that's kind of how I realized, okay, yeah, I I missed some things because I also, on my shop, had a draft for a hypo sticker, but I looked in my bins up here and I didn't have it, and so I was like, oh no. I didn't finish those guys. So, like I said, I made a cheat sheet. You guys are not gonna know what any of this means, I'm sure, because I did abbreviations for the different morphs, but I crossed off ones that I've already done, and then I circled the ones that I need to do next, because I was like, oh, like I said, I'm missing some hypos on my shop that are already done and ready. And then with my blue-eyed leucistics, there's some morphs that I did for reptiles that don't have blue-eyed leucistic versions but have similar morphs. And so I was in my note-taking, when I circled the blue-eyed Lucies, I was also trying to remember which ones I had done, or trying to visualize on my paper which ones I had done for going out with those, since, like I said, not all of the reptiles have blue-eyed Lucies and not all of them have hypos, but I was wanting all of them to get a new morph each time. So I had ones in my head that would be released in tandem with each of those morphs. So now that I've figured all that out, I will be starting the blue-eyed leucistics, the blue-eyed Lucies, the bells, also as they're known, today. And then when I get to the next set of releasing morphs, whether that is before or after I do my next new reptiles, I will go back and finish off the hypos, although I realized also there's like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 different reptiles that I didn't do the hypos of yet, because I think I only did 2 in the first video. It looks like, no, yeah. Did I only do 2? I guess. I don't know. I can't figure, I don't know. I don't know how that's happened. I mean, I know how it happened. I'm pretty sure that I did it right before holiday, and then I forgot what I had and hadn't done. But, so, finishing the hypos is going to take probably 2 more videos, so I will make sure that I finish those and finish the blue-eyed Lucies before I start the next morph drop, for sure, because I don't want to start getting behind on which ones do and don't have things, and I've already messed myself up. I've already messed myself up on this, so I need to fix that before we start getting too far in, getting too deep in the morphs, and I miss one and then that I never release or something before moving on to the next reptiles and doing their morphs. Because I mean, once I make the other reptiles, I'll start doing their morphs as well, and I don't want to start bogging myself down with all that. So I already have, I keep looking at my computer, I'm sorry. You probably have been like, what is she looking at the whole time? I'm looking at my computer because I have my Cricut space open, and I was getting ready to start getting that sent over after I was done talking. But I have 3 morphs or 3 reptiles I'm gonna be doing in this video for sure. 2 of them are actual authentic blue-eyed Lucy's, and then one is a morph that I decided I would release with the blue-eyed Lucy's, so that, like I said, each reptile gets a new morph when I'm doing a new morph drop, if they have enough morphs to do that with each one. And as you might be able to see on my cheat sheet, some reptiles have way more morphs than others. So like the dumpy frogs, I know this is backwards for you guys, but the dumpy frogs are at the bottom and there's only 3 more left. One I was going to do with the hypo, one I was going to do with the blue-eyed Lucy, and then the last one I'll do with whatever morph I do next after those. So that one is going to be finished before like the corn snake or the hognose snake or basically all the other ones. It has the least out of all of them, but once I'm done with how many morphs that one has, then you know, that's just all the drops that it will be a part of, and I'll continue doing more drops until I'm done with those ones and I'm moving on to the other reptiles to do morphs of, or if I start doing the morphs of the other ones, I will start doing those, you know, with the other ones that I'm finishing up, if they end up overlapping like that. So I know that was a lot of talking. I will go ahead and get started on our blue-eyed Lucy's, and I will come back with you to show you guys the first one I'm doing once it's printed out, and take the first look with you guys. So I will be right back with the first look. Okay, our first blue-eyed leucistics are finished printing, and as you guys can see, I started with the ball python blue-eyed Lucy's. There's a little dot on that one for some reason, but other than that, I like how they turned out. I don't think that they're too dark. I didn't want them obviously to be pure white, because then that doesn't really, I'm gonna sit down. That doesn't really let you get your highlights in, and blue-eyed Lucy's are not pure white. I mean, like the really expensive blue-eyed Lucy's are a lot more white than some of the cheaper, I guess you would say, blue-eyed Lucy's. Blue-eyed Lucy's are not super cheap though, just because they are very popular, and but depending on how white and clean you can get your blue-eyed Lucy's to come out, the more expensive they are. But they don't ever really end up pure like paper white. So as you can see, they're a little bit off-white the way that I did them, but I wanted the highlights to really kind of show up and the shadows to show up really well, and it not look kind of like I didn't really do that much on the sticker. So I like how the color came out, and I think once they're cut out as a sticker, and they're not just sitting on a page like this, the color of them will look even better, because they won't be surrounded by so much white space around them. But to me, I think that they look nice like this. So I will let them sit just for a little bit longer. This one's got a tiny speck on him. I don't think that's gonna fix, but I will let them sit for a little bit longer and then get them laminated and cut out as stickers and show you guys what they look like. So our first attempt at Blue Eyed Lucy, I think the color came out good once it was printed, so I'm happy with that, because this is the one I think started with and then used as my template for all of my other white versions of my reptiles. So I'm glad that this one seems to have done nicely when getting printed out. So I will be back to you guys momentarily for you, and a couple minutes for me. Okay guys, as you might be able to tell, the Blue Eyed Lucies of our ball pythons have been cut out and done. So I'm going to pull them off the mat with you guys. I have you at a new angle, so I guess let me know if this is a good angle or not. I don't know. I'm still rearranging things in my office now that I have my new shelves up, and I'm still gonna be getting my computer desk all better organized with its cables and everything. So things are still moving around a little bit, so I guess just know that things will still probably be changing, especially with like how I put the camera. But let me know if you guys like this angle or not in the comments. I just pulled off our first Blue Eyed Lucy sticker. This is how it came out. My calibration for my Cricut still looks like it is good, which I am pleased about. So they're all coming out, it looks like, centered correctly. I'll have to do some more sheets of this one, since like all of the other ball python stickers, I can only get 4 on a sheet at a time, but that is how they come out. The Blue Eyed Lucies. I'm happy with how they look. I think that looks really good. So I will definitely do some more sheets of this one. And while we're over here, actually, I forgot that I've moved things around. So now we can actually just go ahead and I can score the back with you guys as well while you're right here, since it doesn't take very long at all to do. just very quickly do a light cut on the back so it's easily peelable to people. This paper, this new sticker paper that I'm using is supposed to be tear proof. So I haven't, and I've noticed that I haven't really had to have been using quite as light of a cut on it as the previous paper, whereas the previous paper, if I didn't use a light cut on it, I might accidentally cut through the actual sticker itself. But on this new paper, not really an issue so far. So we got those all done. They're all cut out and scored now on the back. So let's go ahead and move on to our next Blue-Eyed Lucy Belle, Blue-Eyed Leucistic morph of one of our reptiles. So I will get that printed out and then show you guys which one it is. And I feel like it's gonna be a really cute one when it gets printed, and that might be enough of a hint for you guys to figure out what the next one is, but if not, you're about to see it. So don't worry. Okay, here we are. The next Blue-Eyed Lucies that we have are the Western Hognose Blue-Eyed Lucies. And I think that these ones came out really good. I actually love the color of the blue eye on them. I don't know if it's different or not. Actually, let's come over here and take a look. I don't think it's different. I think it's just, well, maybe it's a little darker. It's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but I think it is slightly darker in person than the ball python blue. But I like how dark and rich the blue is on the eye. I think it makes them look even that much cuter. But yeah, I'm pleased with how these ones came out. Again, as you can see, they're a little bit off-white because, like I was telling you, I used my ball python kind of to help figure out what color to use for the white, going with a little bit of an off-white. They actually also, their bodies are a little bit different colors, it looks like, maybe. I'm not entirely sure why. I think that I used the same settings, but who knows what happened with that. I can check, but I don't think it's that big of an issue, and I actually like the color of this one. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. But I'm gonna let these guys sit and we'll see how they look as stickers. But I'm very happy with how they came out after being printed, and yeah, I think they're gonna look good as a sticker as well, since our ball python came out looking so nice to me. So I will again be back whenever we are going to be looking at how they turned out as stickers once they're cut out.
All right, our blue-eyed hognoses just finished cutting out, so actually I need to release it from the Cricut. I forgot to do that. But let's go ahead and peel them off the mat. And I mean, they should be all perfectly cut out since I didn't change anything between them and the ball pythons happening. So all of the settings are exactly the same. And it looks like they all did perfectly. So there you go. There is our Belle, our Lucy of our Western hognose. And I think it's so cute. I'm so happy with how these first two blue-eyed Lucies have turned out so far. Now, though, we'll move on to our third sticker for today, which is actually not a blue-eyed Lucy, so sadly we're not gonna get another cute little blue eye on our third sticker, but I feel like it should still look nice with the other two. So let me go ahead and get that one printed out, and I will show you which one it was I decided to do with these blue-eyed Lucies for the first drop of our white versions, I guess you could say, our white morphs of all of our reptiles, since you can't really say albino because albino doesn't mean that they would all be white. Blue-eyed Lucy makes them white, and there's some other genes that can make them appear a lot more white as well. So those are the morphs that I am doing with our blue-eyed Lucies. So I will go ahead and print out our third one and show you and tell you what morph it is and what reptile it is. But there's our blue-eyed Western hognose. Here is our last sticker for this video. It is our corn snake, and actually this particular morph of corn snake is called a blizzard corn snake, and as you can see, it again has red eyes, which as I've told you guys before, it's not particularly my favorite out of what morphs can do to the genes, the genetics of animals. I find the red eyes of albinos creepy, and I always feel bad whenever I say that, because other things about them are cute, and then they have red eyeballs, and it's just but besides the red eye, I do like how this one came out. It's a little bit more pink toned than the other two stickers that we did today. You might be able to tell, but that is because it does have some of the, well, technically corn snakes don't have an albino, they have an amel morph, which is essentially the same thing as an albino.
But it is a morph that uses that in its makeup, so it ends up with a little bit of a pink underhue and red eyeballs. I do still need to figure out on the corn snakes. I don't know if you can tell or not, the red eyeball still comes out really kind of maybe oversaturated, so it still kind of bleeds slightly. You can't tell as much on this blizzard morph of the corn snake, and I think that's because it's patternless, so there's not as much colors going on near the eye for it to bleed into, but it does still kind of close up the eye shine that I have on them. So I'm gonna keep trying to mess around with that, but it's not as bad on these blizzard ones as the Amel albino version of our corn snake. So I am still going to use these on the shop. I'm still overall happy with how they came out. If it had completely like closed up the eye shine, then I wouldn't have used them, but it didn't do that. So I will still be using these guys, and I'll just be slowly figuring out adjustments on doing the red eye for these guys to see how to not have it do that, or at least for it to not do it quite as much. But I will let these guys sit for a little bit, of course, and come back whenever they are ready to be sticker. But overall, I think that they came out really good, and I am excited to see how they look as a sticker with our other 2 stickers that we have already done. So I will be right back with you guys for the final reveal of our 3rd sticker for the day. Alright guys, our blizzard corn snakes just finished cutting out. So let's go ahead and get them off of our mat. And just like all the other ones, they have cut out perfectly. So let's just go ahead and get them all off of the mat. And then actually, while we're over here, I will go ahead and score them, as well as our hog noses, because I didn't score those ones yet either. So let me go ahead and score the backs of our hog noses. And I did 2 sheets of these just to get started on its listing. And then the corn snakes, because I am able to get a lot more of those per sheet, I just printed 1 for now to get the listing up and posted, and then when I need to, I will of course be making more, but for now I just did 1 sheet of the corn snakes.
but 2 of the ball pythons and the hognoses. You might be hearing some noise. There's people at the house right now, and also they're cleaning. So there's a lot of noise going on. I'm hoping you can't really hear it, but if you can hear it, hopefully it's not too much. I didn't feel like trying to wait until everyone was done doing whatever it is they're doing, because then it would be late in the day, and I had already started doing this, and I didn't want to have to stop and then come back later, you know, like the next day. I wanted to just get it all done today. So if you're hearing or if you have been hearing anything in the background, that's what's been going on. So I apologize, because I know normally you'd want to wait until there's no noise going on, but when there's other people in the house, you kind of just have to do it when you can, and then you know, sometimes there'll end up being noise happening. But we got all of our stickers for the day done and got the backs of them scored. And so I'm going to set up a final look at all 3 of them together. But here is our corn snake, our western hognose, and our ball python. So let me get those set up to do our final look at them, and then I guess we will do our outro and figure out what we'll be doing in the next video. So let's go ahead and do our final look. Here is our final look at our 3 stickers of the day. Our blue-eyed leucistic ball python, our blue-eyed leucistic western hognose, and our blizzard corn snake. I am very happy with how all of them came out. I know I've been telling you guys that the whole time, every video that I end up doing, I tell you guys that I'm happy about how the stickers came out, but it's true every time that I tell you. I think that I like the western hognose the most, not just because it is the western hognose, but I mean color-wise, I think that I like it the most. It is a little bit paler than the ball python, and it has a little bit more of a pink undertone. Its line art is a little bit lighter, but I like the deep blue eye on it as well. I do like this one's eye. It's a tad bit lighter than the western hognose. And then I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. Here, I'll pick it up. Let's see. There you go. I think you can see. On the ball python, I have the pits on its face and its little mouth are slightly pinky colored, because actually on real blue-eyed leucistics,
the pits and everything around its face is very pink. And so it's a small detail, but I think that it adds a lot to our ball python. So that's probably one of my favorite parts, is its little face with its pink pits. I think that I used the same settings on these, so I'm not sure why they're different colors. I'll look back at the files. I might be wrong on that. I thought I had, but I don't mind that they're different colors actually though, slightly, just because they're different snakes, so you know, the colors wouldn't be carbon copied over. I mean, they're the same morph though, so maybe people would want that consistency a little bit nicer. Which if I go back and I look and decide to adjust them to match each other more, I'm gonna use this one's color and transfer it over to the ball python because I like it just a little bit more. I mean, it's not that big of a difference though, honestly, but if I had to choose between the two, I like the color just slightly more on that one. And then our corn snake, I think actually, trying to get the glare to be not quite as much for you guys, but I think that the corn snake looks good next to the other ones. You didn't lose too much of the eye shine on that one, so I actually think that it looks okay next to the others. You can definitely tell that its eye shine still ends up being smaller than the other two, but like when you look at it just by itself, the eye shine looks fine. So I'll continue working on that though with the corn snakes, trying to figure out the red eye for its different morphs, because it has a couple of morphs that have red eyes, so I would like to try and get that one figured out. But here's our final look of our 3 stickers of the day, and I guess we will move on to our outro and discuss what might be happening in the next video. Okay guys, back in my little recording corner. It is the end of the video. I am so happy with how our blue-eyed leucistics and our blizzard came out today in this video. I'm probably going to do 3 new species in the next video if there's not something that I need to do at the office before then. So I have 3 new species that I already have ready to get printed out as stickers. A new lizard, a new snake, and a new frog. So I'm excited to do those with you guys. There's one, it's actually the frog that I think is very cute. And then of course the other 2 are popular species of lizard and snakes, and the frog's a popular species of frog as well, but I think that you guys are really gonna, out of the 3, I think that that one's probably gonna be the most popular, although I might be wrong. But anyway, that is what you guys can be looking forward to in the next video. Like I was telling you in this video, I'll continue to finish up the hypomorphs, and that's probably going to take 2 videos to fully finish those up, but we will also be doing the other morphs that I was wanting to release with the Blizzard and Blue-Eyed Lucy's as well. I'll go back and forth with which ones I do maybe. Like I'll do half of the hypo, and then in the next morph release I'll do some of the Blue-Eyed Lucy Blizzard morphs, and then go back and finish up the hypos maybe. Do it that way, alternate them, so that I get both of those done and over with before moving on to doing the next morphs. But I'll also be getting new species of reptiles ready to be printed out as well after these next new ones that I do. So I'll continue to just kind of use the morphs to keep activity and traction going on the shop, since I have all of those ready and waiting, so that it gives me time to get the new species ready for sticker printing. But that is going to be the end of this video. If you liked the content in it, please feel free to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to continue on this journey with me and you want to see what the next species are and see what the new morphs look like. Please also feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know, do you guys like the Blue-Eyed Lucy's and the Blizzard morph that I did? What reptiles or amphibians are you looking forward to in the future? Maybe even drop down below if you want to see some more flowers happen before more lizards or reptiles end up being made. I know that I have been focusing on the reptiles, but I do still have flowers that I'm making. So I guess just leave your thoughts down in the comments below if you wanna answer any of those thoughts or questions that I pose to you guys. All of my links will be down in the description below. Link to my Etsy shop, to my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down there, and my business email is also down there as well. All of those links are also culminated into a LinkTree instead, if you prefer that over the individual links. If you want to get notified so that you don't miss when I upload a video, or you want to be one of the first ones to see it, please hit the little notification bell. It's right next to subscribe. That way that you get notified whenever I do upload. And that's all of the YouTube things that I'm supposed to say, I'm pretty sure. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, YouTube!